All right, so over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be dissecting the 60. We just had travel ball fall and high school fall tryouts. So if you didn't impress on your 60, we're going to kind of go over some tips and tricks on how to run your 60. So today we're going to focus on the start, or anything that I would consider 0 to 10 yards. Okay, so 0 to 10 yards. So we'll start with your stance. Anything, I like to go in open stance. I see a lot of people with a closed stance. I will never understand that, right? You're making it harder and longer to get around, and you're just wasting time. So I like to have a slightly open stance. And again, for these, I'm not really too picky. If you want to do the plyo drop step or the crossover, okay, it doesn't matter. But the key principles that we want to have for these is the biggest common mistake is that everyone will pop up right away. And once you're vertical, okay, it's going to become very, very hard to accelerate. So we want to maintain that forward angle anywhere from, call it 50, 55, 60 degrees-ish coming out. You want to make sure that with our first step that you're gaining ground. It doesn't have to be a mile, because then all of a sudden foot's landing out front and we're creating a break for ourselves. Okay, we just need to be gaining ground with our first step. Now from there, with some of our videos in the past, you want to make sure that your feet are working back underneath. So I'll demonstrate with the crossover. So I'm gaining ground and I'm trying to work the foot back, right? With the plyo step, I'm here, working the foot back behind me. Now the importance of that is because you have to drive back to push yourself forward. If your foot lands out front, we're creating that break and we're slowing ourselves down. And then I have to pull myself, and I'm never going to be able to pull as much as I can push when it comes to accelerating in the sprint. So coming out at that good angle, you want to stay low, and we're working the foot back. Okay, keep working the foot back. Now, as you start to gain speed, okay, now this is closer towards the end of the 10 yards, you want to start to slowly rise up. Now we're still in that forward lean, driving out. Okay, we'll slowly start to rise up, and then we'll start to transition into our late acceleration, early top speed. But when we're looking at our start, you want to try to aim for, and this is in our training, obviously we can't know all the time in our 60 because they don't time 10 yards all the time. You want to try to aim for around a 1.6 second 10-yard split. Obviously anything less is better. Anything above is starting to get a little iffy. So again, really making sure that we gain ground on the first step, we work the foot back, stay low and drive out through 10, and then as your speed starts to generate, then we slowly start to rise up.